Hello students and welcome back to bankexamstudy.com. My name is Ramandeep Singh. Students, PNB SO Credit Officer notification has been released. We are going to discuss the notification, the eligibility criteria, the exam pattern, and then we are going to discuss the syllabus. पूरा detail में discuss करेंगे. So let's start the session with the dates. Important dates from 3rd of March till 24th of March you can apply for the exam. 24 मार्च 2025 तक आप अप्लाई कर सकते हो. अप्रैल या मई में एग्ज़ाम होगा. यू हैव रफली आई वुड से 2 months विद यू फॉर द प्रिपरेशन. 2 महीने आपके पास प्रिपरेशन के लिए. एंड योर एज शुड बी बिटवीन 21 to 30 years एज ऑन 1st of January 2025 एंड देर आर टोटल 250 वैकेंसीज. रिलैक्सेशन ऑब्वियसली है SC ST OBC कैटेगरी कैंडिडेट्स के लिए 250 वैकेंसीज हैं. सो SC कैटेगरी ST कैटेगरी में 5 साल का रिलैक्सेशन है. OBC के लिए 3 साल का है. नॉन क्रीमी लेयर पर्सनस विद डिसेबिलिटीज़ 10 साल का जो है एज रिलैक्सेशन है. ठीक है, इसको आप ध्यान में रखें. सो द मैक्सिमम एज लिमिट इज़ 30 years एंड इट इज़ applicable to unreserved category and economically weaker section category students, right? So qualification and certification required. Mandatory है either chartered accountants from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India or the cost management accountant CMA या chartered financial analyst CFA from CFA Institute or MBA or postgraduate diploma in management with specialization in finance from any institute, college, university recognized or approved by the government body, AICTE or UGC with minimum 60% marks और इक्विवेलेंट ग्रेड. सो कोई मैंडेटरी सर्टिफिकेशन नहीं है, बट इफ़ यू हैव सर्टिफिकेट इन क्रेडिट रिस्क, फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस और अदर रेलेवेंट बैंकिंग सर्टिफिकेशन इट्स गुड, लेकिन मैंडेटरी नहीं है. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, सो वर्क एक्सपीरियंस डिज़ायरेबल है लेकिन मैंडेटरी अगेन नहीं है. इफ़ यू हैव वर्क एक्सपीरियंस इन क्रेडिट रोल्स देन अच्छी बात है, लेकिन इट इज़ नॉट मैंडेटरी. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आपके पास वर्क एक्सपीरियंस हो. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को डाउट होगा कि सर मेरे पास वर्क एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, आई एम फ्रेशर, वेदर आई एम एलिजिबल और नॉट. येस, यू आर एलिजिबल. वर्क एक्सपीरियंस मैंडेटरी बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. वर्क एक्सपीरियंस इज़ नॉट मैंडेटरी. ठीक है, लेट्स मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. इन above case, MBA or PGDBM is mentioned as criteria for educational qualification. Following guidelines would be applicable. The course is required to be of 2 years. अगर आपने MBA करा है, PGDBM करा है, तो ये 2 साल का ड्यूरेशन होना चाहिए. If there is a 1-year course, you are not eligible. The course should be full-time, part-time, distance learning course. They are not acceptable. Courses completed through correspondence, part-time, distance mode, they are not considered. In case of dual specialization, one of the field should be in for finance. अगर आपका dual specialization है बिल्कुल acceptable है. Finance और marketing में है तो acceptable है. In case of major minor specialization, major should be finance, right? Candidates having MBA PGDBM with more than 2 specializations और general MBA PGDBM are not eligible to apply. अगर आपने general में MBA करा है, अगर आपका कोई स्पेशलाइजेशन मेंशन नहीं है देन यू आर नॉट एलिजिबल, राइट? या 2 से ज़्यादा स्पेशलाइजेशन है तब भी आप एलिजिबल नहीं हो. एंड द कॉलेज, इंस्टीट्यूट एंड यूनिवर्सिटी शुड बी recognized and approved by government bodies, AICTE or UGC, right? And there is a bond sign करना पड़ेगा. So in case you leave the job, अगर आप जॉब को छोड़ देते हैं within 3 years, the bond period is 3 years and the amount of bond is 1 lakh rupees. So amount of bond is 1 lakh rupee and the bond period is 3 years, right? So all the losses that happens to bank जो भी loss bear करता है, अगर आप जल्दी जॉब छोड़ देते हो तो आपको आपका ये अमाउंट जो है यहाँ से रिकवर कर लेगा बैंक. Credit history, if your CIBIL score is less than 680 then there is an issue, right? CIBIL score of 680 plus is required to apply for this job. Okay, so कोई fraud नहीं किया होना चाहिए आपने, कोई आप NPA नहीं होने चाहिए. So make sure that. So cut-off scores, each candidates will be required to obtain a minimum score in each test. There is sectional cut-off. So there is written test followed by personal interviews This is the exam pattern for the written exam. Reasoning ability है, English language है, quantitative aptitude and professional knowledge. 25 marks for the reasoning, 25 for English, 50 marks for the quantitative aptitude, and then 100 marks for the professional knowledge. So maximum weightage professional knowledge का है, 50% weightage professional knowledge का है. There is no sectional timing. 120 minutes are allotted for the exam, but there is sectional timing. You need to score minimum marks in each paper. For every wrong answer, 1/4 is a negative marking, right? You need to qualify all the test of part 1 and part 2. सभी sections में आपको minimum qualifying marks लेने हैं. कितने लेने हैं ये अभी clear नहीं है. Generally, it should be the minimum marks should be like 7 to 10 marks. I would say ये general thumb rule रहा है. 7 to 10 marks इतना ही रहता है. यहाँ पे you can expect like 12 to 18 कह लीजिए. And then यहाँ पे भी आप you can expect out of 100 the cutoff should be like 25, right? So ये general है, ये sectional cutoff है. Total कितना जाएगा that is totally dependent upon relative scores. बाकी कितना scores करते हैं ये sectional generally इतना रहता है. Candidates have to qualify all the tests part 1 and part 2. Professional knowledge test will be evaluated only for those candidates who qualify in each paper of part 1. Minimum qualifying marks in each individual test will be decided by bank. Bank decide करेगा. And then there will be interviews. Those who clear the phase 1, they would be, called for the interviews. Candidates who obtain minimum marks as decided by bank in part 1 will be considered for shortlisting in the interview. On the basis of merit prepared as per marks obtained by them in part 2. So the cutoff, the final cutoff would be made on the basis of professional knowledge test. So sectional cutoff तो है यहाँ पे. part 1 के सारे papers को clear करेंगे तो ही आप exam clear कर पाएंगे. But the cutoff for the interviews would be made on the basis of professional knowledge test only. Professional knowledge के test के basis पे आपका जो है इंटरव्यू कॉल के लिए कट ऑफ डिसाइड होगी. एंड अदर एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया सेटिस्फाई करेंगे तभी इंटरव्यू के लिए बुलाया जाएगा. So work experience for the respective post. I mean, although it is not mandatory, but if you have mentioned, you will get some extra marks. You need to prove it. आप document के साथ जाएंगे interviews में. So number of candidates called is dependent upon the performance of the candidates. So personal interview is of 50 marks and minimum qualifying marks in the interview shall be 45% for the SC/ST category candidates and 50% for the general category candidates. ठीक है. So the syllabus for the reasoning ability, there is machine input, output, puzzles, sitting arrangements, order and ranking, inequalities, statements and assumptions, statement and conclusion, coding, decoding, syllogism, statements and arguments, blood relations and direction sense test, right? So this is the syllabus for reasoning ability section. And then for the English language, there is reading comprehensions, para jumbles, vocabulary, error spotting, cloze test. These kind of questions would be there. In the quantitative aptitude section, there is data interpretation, which is most important, I would say. You will get 3 to 4 sets from data interpretation, 15-20 mark ka data interpretation. Then there would be data sufficiency, number series, time and work, time and distance, approximation, simple and compound interest, ratios and proportions, averages, mixtures and allegations, pipes and cisterns, problem based on trains, percentages, partnership, profit and loss, and then algebra and quadratic equations. So this is the syllabus for quantitative aptitude section. For the professional knowledge section, सबसे ज़्यादा weightage है. You start with the overview of credit, simple principles of lending, credit appraisal, credit delivery, credit rating, types of borrowers. ये basic chapters हैं. Basic, you start here. Basic understanding यहीं से है. And then financial statement analysis. इसमें ratio analysis is most important. Then there is cash flow statement, fund flow statement, project appraisal, working capital management, and then there are working capital management committees. Which is actually very, very important. Kannan committees there, Nayak committees there, Tandon committees there, very, very important from examination point of view. Financial management mein capital budgeting is actually very important. Then Indian financial system, regulatory bodies in India, RBI, SEBI, NABARD, money market, capital market के instruments हैं, any changes to them, time value of money, basics of derivative, leverages, capital budgeting. So NPV, IRR, you should have basic understanding of that. Other credit के topics में export credit is there, right? Priority sector lending, which is a master circular of RBI. Non-fund based credit facilities हैं, government sponsored schemes हैं. There are like 45-50 government schemes which are actually very important from examination point of view. Retail loan KYC AML के norms हैं, RBI के master circulars हैं, we are going to do that. Basel norms हैं, priority sector lending already covered है. So documentation है जिसमें registration duty act, stamp duty act वगैरह हो जाता है, and documentation related to the loans, and then IRAC norms, which is again an master circular of RBI, types of charges. IBC SURF-IC is actually very important from examination point of view for the management of impaired assets. RBI के circulars करेंगे for last 1 year, very important. Companies Act, Contract Act, although banking regulation, RBI Act and the Negotiable Instrument Act. These 3 acts are actually very important from examination point of view. Monetary policy updates, financial institutions in India, mergers and acquisitions in banking industry, digital banking development, banking terms, abbreviation, very important from examination point of view. GH. Okay. And then यहाँ पे for the PNB, for the history of PNB, history of PNB, recent news related to PNB, PNB's financial products and services, PNB's digital banking initiative, CSR initiatives by PNB, financial performance of PNB and mergers involving PNB. Last year exam में काफ़ी questions इसमें से आए थे, and we are going to cover this as well this year. ठीक है, पूरा detail में इसको करेंगे. So PNB Credit Officer Scale 1 course is available on bankexamstudy.com, in which we are providing video classes, notes, quizzes, and the test series. The complete coverage of the course would be provided, right? Complete coverage of the syllabus would be provided, including the interview preparation. This is our WhatsApp number where you can ask your doubts and we are going to answer all your doubts. List of our successful students last year. These 5 students that took our courses and they cracked their respective exams. The PNB Credit Officer in the 2024, we got 5 final selections. And in 23, there were a large number of vacancies, and all these students that took our course and they cracked their respective exams. So we are really, really happy for them, and you can be one of them in the future. And yes, you will be one of them in the future. Link to join the course is available in the description. And write a review for Bank Exams Today on our Android app. Link to the app is available in the description. Give us 5 stars. I'll be very happy if you give us 5 stars. अगर आपको ये sessions अच्छे लग रहे हैं, if you like the videos that we are providing, give us a review on our Android app. This is the app icon. Write us a review. Link is available in the description for the app as well. And that's, I guess, all for today, students. Thank you and have a very nice day. Bye-bye and take care.